Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharyamathyamam Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So we are seeing the 14th chapter and Sattva Rajas Tamas. Very simple actually. Yeah. So we are saying the 8th verse last time. Right? He completed the 8th verse. Now the 9th verse is just summing up what he has said before. Okay. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati Raja karmani bharata Jnanam avritya tu tamaha Pramade sanjayati yutaha. It's a simple, he says. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati. Sattvam gets you caught up in sukha. Raja karmani bharata. Rajas gets you more and more involved in action karma. And tamas, what does it do? Jnanam avritya, covering your mind. Jnanam here is jnana sadhanam, your mind, covering your mind. Pramade sanjayati utaha. It makes you, it catches you up with indolence, laziness. क्या करना है, आराम करो यार. संडे सैटरडे इवनिंग कोई क्लास जाता है क्या? मजा करो ना, टीवी देखो. That way, that type of a mistake. We will find all of us having this when we move the classes offline. अरे यार अभी क्लास ऑफलाइन करने के क्या ऑनलाइन इतना अच्छा था. The reluctance to travel, etc. I never thought there would be anything that will keep the South Indian mama and mammies from the temple and the homas and things like that. But this time when I went to Shankaramatam, sometimes I am there, quite often I am there, because Navratri homas and all are going on. Finding a lot of them are not there. A lot of the regulars are not there, including some of my students who are usually there, not there. Why? Caught up in that, 2 saal ghar mein baitha hai. Tamas has become strong now. Yeah, tamas has become strong. So, pramade sanjayati. It happens to all of us. Then how does this whole thing function? He talks about in the next couple of verses. Rajas tamascha abhibhuya sattvam bhavati bharata. Rajas sattvam tamaschaiva tamas sattvam rajas tatha. He says, overcoming rajas and tamas, sattvam bhavati bharata. Sattva comes up. Morning you got up, had a bath and things like that. Rajas tamas gone, sattva is there. Best time to do all your intellectual, creative activities, etc. Okay. Then rajas sattvam tamaschaiva tamas sattvam rajas. Similarly, rajas also overcoming sattva and rajas, sattva and tamas, rajas will come up. Similarly, tamas will overcome sattva and rajas and come up. Like on a Saturday afternoon after a good meal. Even the intellectual is sleepy. So, by turn, this what he is trying to do is, these are all normal. These are all human. So, they will keep coming up and having their play. You use them as you want to use them. Alright. How do you know when each one of them are there? How do I feel when each one is there? Sarvadvareshu dehasmin prakasha upajayate jnanam yada tada vidyat vivrdam sattvamityutaha. Sarvadvareshu, from all my sense organs, etc. Asmin dehi prakasha upajayate. Prakasha upajayate meaning it's all they are bright and willing to get in the data, etc., all that. Jnanam. And when I'm knowledge oriented, yada tada vidya, and my mind, or my mind is also jnanam, mind, prakasha, brightened, ready to think clearly, etc. When that happens, is a vidya vivradam sattvamuchyate. That is the time sattva is the highest in you. Because all of them are there in you. So when you are bright and cheerful and willing to engage in life enthusiastically, you know sattva. You are a thinker that time. Then what about rajas? Lobhe pravartirarambha karmanam ashamaspruha rajas etani jayanti vivrude bharatarashabha. Rajas vivrude sati. When rajas is manifest, hey bharatarashabha, best among the bharatas, okay. Lobha, this, I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. That's greed. Pravartirarambha. I'm running around, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that. Okay. Karmanam ashamaha. Mind is not at peace, it's restless mind. The mind is very restless, etc. Spruha, longings, desires. Okay. When these are there in your mind, understand rajas is manifest. This is when rajas manifests itself. For us, sometimes it may be 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning, you are getting everything ready, you have to go to the house, get ready, get for work, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Rajas. Aprakashaha apravrittischa pramado moha evacha tamasyetani jayante gurudaya kurunandana. Hey, born of the house of Kurus, tamasyetani jayante. When these are born, when tamas is vivrudam, when tamas is manifest. What? Aprakashaha. Mind is dull. Don't feel like thinking or anything like that. Mind is dull. Aprakashaha. Apravrittischa. Don't feel like doing anything also. Kya karne ka? Tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day. Pramada moha evacha. Laziness, moha, delusion. Arey, I thought you had a project. Let's finish all the project now. Then you can chill out nicely. Tomorrow is another day. इतना बड़ा क्या बात है? आराम से कर लेगा. You want to goof off? No, you want to goof off. Tamas etani jayanti. This is tamas. Just a brief description so that you will know when things are manifest in you. When are you more sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, etc. This is not time based. This is how your mental makeup is. There's nothing to do with time. Though in Ayurveda you say early morning sattva is maximum, then it becomes rajas, and as the day goes it becomes tamas, etc. You say all that. That is true up to a point. Yeah. Up to a point, that is global looking at it. At the global situation. Darkness, night is tamas. That's why night you are supposed to sleep. Yeah. In fact, in Ayurveda, you are not supposed to sleep during the day, okay? Unless you are a senior citizen or a child. Both extremes are given that option. If you are a senior citizen or you are a child, then you can sleep in the afternoon. Okay. Not otherwise. That is Ayurveda. This is individual. How it happens in the individual system. Okay. All right. Then he is bringing an interesting concept. What happens to you when you die in a sattvic moment? Many of us think death is, slipping away, unconscious, etc. Therefore, it will be tamasic. No. Death can be a very sattvic experience also. So that is what he is describing in the next couple of words. Any questions up to now, or they're all clear? There is nothing much here. There is nothing much to intellectualize here. Okay, there is something to understand. यदा सत्वे प्रवृद्धेतु प्रलयं याति देहभृत् तदा आत्मविदां लोकान् अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते. यदा सत्वे प्रवृद्धे, when sattva is manifest high in your mind, to pralayam yati dehabhrit, the person slips away, he moves on, he dies. Tada atmavidam lokan, to the lokas, that people who are engaged in knowing the self, etc., go. Meaning they are not yet known the self completely, but higher lokas, amalan pratipadyate, those pure lokas, higher lokas you go to. Of course, it also depends upon what karma you have done before. Okay, and see, in the time of death, you are withdrawing. The mind is withdrawing from the body. Okay. In fact, when you see someone dying, you can make out how things have started closing down. Very clearly, you can make out. Okay. At that time, who is going to be alert and conscious? Alert, conscious, meaning in your mind, not in your body. Some are. You can make that out also. Some are. They are the people who are the most peaceful deaths. You can literally see them going out of the body. So, who will be people like that who can be sattvic when your organism is dying? You are not resisting it. थोड़ा spirituality होना चाहिए. Got to be spirituality and extent. Otherwise, you'll be worried. What will my wife do? What will my husband do? What will my kids do? Oh my God, where am I going to go? What are the doctors doing? Why am I feeling like this? So unless there is a certain sattva in you as a regular thing, meaning some spiritual awareness, etc., is there, this will not happen. That's why he says they will go to Atmavidam Loka, and people who have been trying to know themselves, etc. You can't say they know the self and the lokas where knowers of the self go. Why? If you know the self, you don't go anywhere. You remain as limitless awareness. Therefore, Atmavidam Loka is people have been trying. They are not fully succeeded, that's all. But they are on the track. Brahma Loka ityadi. Okay. Rajasi pralayam gatva karma sangishu jayate tatha praline tamasi modayonishu jayate. Rajasi pralayam gatva. If you die in rajas, then what happens? Karma sangishu jayate. You will be going to those lokas or those births where people are attached to doing things. Why? Because you are looking for similar people. No? You are looking for similarities. You are rajas, meaning you are action oriented. Yeah. Such people, I find, generally death becomes a little bit of a struggle. When I've been with people who are dying, those who are rajasic, they will be fighting against death. You know? Though this time there is no point in fighting anymore. This is the time when you have to just say, you have to just accept what is happening, and that's it. Or kuch nahi. Because all fighting is over and done. But you will find that these are the people who at the time of death they struggle a bit, they are gasping, they are just, why? Because they are fighting for the survival of the organism. They are not lazy enough, indolent enough to let it happen, nor are they sattvic enough to have a sense of acceptance. They are caught in between. Therefore, there is a certain amount of struggle there. Okay. Tatha, okay. And tatha praline tamasi. When you die, when tamas is maximum, mooda yonishu jayate. You will be born among the fools and the ignorant people. or among lower life forms, etc. Mooda yonishu. Yeah. Because what to do? You have to exhaust these tendencies a bit. You know, we can talk about a certain amount of growth as a human being, and we can grow. But there also are things sometimes that certain things you have to exhaust through experience. So sometimes if the tamas etc. is too much, then you have to be getting into those lifetimes, those life forms where you can exhaust it. You can't be born as a human being and chill out or sleep 18-20 hours a day, can you? You can't do. I mean, there's no human being who can sleep 20 hours a day. You have to do something or the other, no? Even a beggar sitting outside a temple or something has to do more than that. He has to get up in the morning and come there, na? अरे सब्जी निकल जाएगा, कोई आएगा नहीं, कोई मिलेगा नहीं, कुछ जाए उधर. That much he has to do. He can't be sleeping 20 hours. But if he is born as a pet cat, he can sleep 20 hours a day. Yeah. So that if there is that much of tamas, then some amount of exhaustion of that is necessary. So your birth etc. will be according to that. Okay. Yeah. So this, we are talking about those yonis or high rajasic activity etc. Then what? If you are running around like a headless chicken, be one. Yeah. All the time you are running around like that, be one. Yeah. So just a general guideline this is, okay. Don't take this as literally true, because it will depend upon the karmas you have done before, all that will come into the picture. Okay, right. Then that's why the karma part is bringing in now. Karmanaha sukritasyahu satvikam nirmalam phalam rajastu phalam dukkham ajnanam tamasah phalam. If you have done sattvika karma, sukritasya, then if you have done all the good things in life, satvikam nirmalam phalam, you give all the joys etc. in your next lifetime, things will come to you very easily. Haven't you seen some people born with a lot of luck? Little bit effort and a huge amount of result comes in. Satvikam nirmalam phalam. Yeah. Satvikam nirmalam phalam. Then how they make use of the karma phala depends upon the mindset in that lifestyle. Okay. You can waste the whole thing also. Rajastu phalam dukkham. If you have done too much of rajasic activity, then you will have to suffer for it. Sora dukkha will come. Karma phala. They are the people who have to struggle in life. Okay. They will have to struggle. But the maximum chance for growth is here. Why? Struggle can always help you grow. Karma yoga buddhi means you can grow. And ajnanam tamasah phalam. The result of tamasic activity is that you remain in ignorance. It's not that you gain more ignorance. You can't. But you continue in that ignorant fashion. You know, lifetime after lifetime, when we go through, many of us don't really grow in various lifetimes. You know, our growth is very limited. Our growth in many lifetimes are limited. We don't grow all that much. One lifetime becomes similar to another lifetime. Yeah, you're doing more or less repeating the same things. Why? Because of this growth, active growth. As a human being, when you are born, your growth is not automatic. You have to pay attention to it. Only when you pay attention to your mind, etc., you can grow as a human being. Up to human being, evolution, karma, etc., will take care of your growth. Once you come as a human being, then growth will happen only if you pay attention to your mind, to your desires, to your action, to your functioning, to your pursuits, to your priorities. Unless you do all these, growth will not happen. Therefore, there is a lot of self-awareness necessary. Plus questioning the purpose of life. If that is not there, you will keep repeating the same thing. One lifetime is like the previous lifetime. Similar. That's what he's pointing out here. Yeah. Okay. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam rajasah lobha evacha pramadamoho tamasa bhavato ajnanam evacha. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam. If you are a sattvic predisposition, you can gain knowledge. Knowledge of whatever. Okay, whatever you are focusing on, that knowledge you can gain. Okay, rajasaha lobha evacha. Rajas will put you into greed and passions. Okay, pramada moho tapasa bhavato ajnanam evacha. From tamas, you are in ajnanam, therefore pramada moha, indolence, laziness, delusions, delusory thinking. Sometimes you will wonder how minds which look bright have so much of delusory thinking in them. It's amazing how much of delusory thinking can be there in a mind. Okay, that is supposed to be thinkers, etc. Classical case is intelligent Mallus becoming communists and against their own culture and this thing. Yeah, you'll find Kerala full of them. Intelligent people, Mallus. Yeah. But they become communists and they're against their own culture. They actually try to destroy their own culture. Yeah. Okay, tamas rajas high. Pramada moho tamasa bhavata ajnanam. Okay, I'm not going too much into all these. Okay, if you have any questions or any doubts relating to anyone, please ask. I'm going a little bit fast here because simple, but even in a simple thing, doubts etc. can come up. So if those things come up, please ask. Okay. Urdhvam gachanti satvastah madhye tishtanti rajasah janganni gunavruttastha adho gachanti tamasa. Urdhvam gachanti satvastah. Satvastah, the one who is endowed with sattva, they can evolve or go to higher lokas. Both ways you can take that. Urdhvam gacchati, they can evolve into higher levels of learning or higher lokas, etc. also. They can go into higher lokas. Urdhvam gacchati. Madhye tishtanti rajasah. Rajasic people will remain where they are. They will be born again. One good advantage is they will be born again on earth very fast. Why? Earth is karma bhumi. Therefore, they will be born again. There is a chance to grow, and if they walk into some Vedanta class somewhere, some chance to grow. Okay. Janganni gunavruttastha. Having the lowest gunas. Adho gachanti manasa. Tamasic people will deteriorate, he says. Will go down. Or lower lokas, lower life forms, both ways. Because how do you expect a tamasic person to grow in a human body? A tamasic person in the body of a cow, water buffalo, will grow in by normal karma, evolution, etc. and gain a human form in time. In time. Depending on karma, evolution, etc. That will happen. But not a human being. Human being, it has to be conscious choice. So an interesting question has come up. Somebody asked, where does instinct figure in the scheme of things? Instinct is what it says, instinct. Okay. Instinct is not a product of thinking. Instinct is put in any life form for survival. It's a manifestation of your samskaras, etc. It will survive. Therefore, they will come up. depending upon your upadhis. Even human beings have instincts, but a lot of our culture and civilization has overcome that. That is why human beings don't sense danger, for example, like a dog or a animal life form can sense instinctively, they'll sense danger. Human beings cannot. Why? We have become too civilized. Unless you have received the training as a martial artist, a commando or something like that, then you will have an instinct for danger and you will pick it up. Why? Because they are all lying dormant in you, the ability is there. Why? Because you share something in common with all the animals. What is that? You have to survive. It's only after survival Rajas Tamas, Sattva Rajas Tamas comes into the picture, isn't it? They are the functionings of your mind. So that will come into picture only when you have to survive first. So survive now first. Yeah, survive first. For survival, you have to be there. Yeah. So instinct, etc. is there. Instinct, etc. is there. Yeah. In all of us it is there. But not honed, dormant, lying. Animals, etc., they live by that. Because the first duty for them is to survive. After that, everything else. Yeah. After that, anything else. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it looks like as this. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas rules your life, isn't it? Your living is ruled by Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Now the question is, how do you get out of it? A tamasic person has to go through some rajas before he can get out. No? You cannot jump from tamas to rajas straight. Tamas to sattva straight. You can't. You have to go through rajas. So if a person is too tamasic, put some rajas into them, some desires, some passion, awaken those things in them. Yeah. Because unless those are there, how is the person going to get out of his laziness and indolence? Even a lazy person, you see this happening in teenagers, because of the hormonal changes, etc., they tend to be a bit lazy. But you give them something that they are passionate about. Suddenly they discover they are passionate about something. You find the whole change in them. Oh no, they're getting up in the morning, all that. Hey, what happened to this guy? Some rajas came into them. And rajasic person to become sattvic, focus on priorities, karma yoga, buddhi, etc., then naturally you will become sattvic. Okay, that's the process. Then, okay, so all this seems to rule my life. Now what you are supposed to do? Not supposed to become more sattvic. Your aim is not to become more sattvic. Then what is my aim? Next verse. Nanyam gunebhya kartaram tada drishtanupashyati gunebhyascha param veti madbhavam sa adhigacchati. Na anyam gunebhya kartaram. Guna guneshu vartante. The gunas function in the respective fields. I am not the doer. Naham kartaram. I am the witness, the sakshi of all of it. Yada drishtaha anupashyati. When the seer sees that very clearly, that I am not affected by sattva, rajas, tamas, my mind is affected by sattva, rajas, tamas. My body is affected by sattva, rajas, tamas. I am the one who is witnessing the whole thing. I am that sakshi, nirgunaha, chetaha, chaitanya surupaha. When I understand that, what happens? Gunebhyascha param veti. You go beyond the gunas, you are a gunatitaha then. Gunebhyascha param veti. Yeah, you are beyond the gunas. Madbhavam so adhigacchati. He gains the status of being one with me. He recognizes his own Surupa. That is nothing but Krishna Surupaha, Chaitanya Surupaha. He recognizes that. Yeah. Can call it Rama Surupa also, okay? Ram Navami tomorrow. Okay. Navratri going on. Yeah. So you recognize that. Yeah. That this is your true nature. Therefore, the gunas affect your prakriti, body, mind, etc. You are beyond the gunas. You are the consciousness which is beyond the gunas. The whole aim is to recognize that. Now, to recognize that, you need a sattvic mind. Therefore, you will say, become sattvic. You need a fairly sattvic mind. Some you have to be totally sattvic, not possible. You will be a lotus eater then. You need some rajas to get things done. No, Swamiji, totally sattvic, not possible. No. Then you will want to continue only with Zoom classes. Don't want to go to a offline class where you can learn much more, actually speaking. Yeah. Zoom is good, no. Don't tell me that you are becoming sattvic. Actually, it's becoming more tamasic, okay? Yeah, it looks sattvic. I'm very comfortable. No? No, after 2 years of being at home, I'm very comfortable. I don't want to move out, no. You have not become sattvic. If you could have said that in the first lockdown, I'm fine. No maids, okay, I'm fine. You're sitting all alone by yourself, I'm fine with that. If you had said it that time, I will say you are sattvic. When you are saying it now, after 2 years and 3 lockdowns, then that is not sattvic. You have become this has become your new normal, your new comfort zone. Now you don't want to leave your comfort zone. You are attached to that. That's a sign of tamas, laziness, indolence, etc. Don't want to step out. You become lazy. And tell me, believe me, the lockdown has affected all of us in various ways. If you are alert enough, awareful enough, you will recognize it. Recent report, 2 days back, I think in the paper, Apple employees are supposed to come to work once in a week. Once in a week. Not 5 days a week. They are used to 5 days working week. Once a week report to the office. Many of them are saying we are going to resign from the company.
Yeah, yes.
Many, they are going to resign from the company. Eh? I would say go resign. Sit at home. We'll get other people who are willing to come. You got stuck. Yeah. Okay, identifying the difference between sattvic and tamasic sometimes. How to do that? Yep, good one. That's why he has given that description. When you feel yourself bright and alert, you are sattvic. Look into that. Bright, alert, are you willing to learn new things, do new things? Are you willing to learn? Or say, forget it. I just want to sit quiet doing nothing. If you want to sit quiet doing nothing, then you know you are tamasic. See, there is a program you don't feel like going to. There is nothing to do with tamasic or rajasic. That's your priorities. Whether you want to go for that program and don't go for that. Okay, that's entirely different. But when you are sattvic, you are always willing to learn something. You are always bright, you are alert. You are not sitting down. Whereas tamasic is when you are lazy and indolent. That's why they are extremes, therefore extremes look alike, Extreme look alike. I remember once, a few of us went to check out a naturopathy center. Okay. One of my friends was interested in setting up one. So we went and checked out a naturopathy center, this, that, etc. You know what one of my friends said? The friend said, this is exactly living like a cow. Except there is nothing to eat. Because naturopathy is all about fasting. When you are getting up, you are getting some kada to drink. And then what do? You go there. Then you're given an enema. There's nothing in your stomach anyway. What enema? Then after that you are given a massage. You are just lying down. Then a mud bath. Then you come. There's no lunch anyway. So you are supposed to take rest in the afternoon. What have you done that you need to rest? People have been doing things to you, giving you a massage, giving you a mud bath, etc. So you chill out in the afternoon. Then evening you roam around a bit. then night you are supposed to go to sleep early. This is like living like a cow only. Now, here in this life, if you put Vedanta classes, if you put meditation, okay, if you put the learning of the different Shastras, etc., then the same life which looks similar becomes Sattvic now. No? Then it is Sattvic. But if there is no learning, nothing, then it is Tamasic only. No? Now, naturopathy treatment is a form of healing. Therefore, I am not criticizing naturopathy. I am just saying that describing a life which can seem tamasic. It is tamasic in a sense because you are not supposed to be doing anything. You let natural things heal you. Yeah. But I am just describing the lifestyle. I am not for or against naturopathy. It has its advantages, it has its limitations. But the lifestyle, that type of lifestyle is tamasic. Whereas you put learning, meditation, the yoga, etc. into the same thing, it becomes sattvic. Generally, if you are tamasic, feeling very lazy, etc., yes, then put some rajas into it, you will become better. Focus, hey, this thing requires to be done here. Come on, let's get up and do that. Then you get up and do that. After that you can do into something else. Yeah. So some little stimulus you need for that. Directly from tamas to sattva is a little difficult, can be done. As I said, no, in that lifestyle, put these things, you will be fine. Yeah. Okay. But the idea is what? Aham kimapi na karomi. I am not tamasic, rajasic or sattvic. I am the one who is witnessing sattva, rajas, tamas. I am free from the whole thing. Gunebhya param veti. Yeah, free from. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then he says, oh, is the speed difficult for you? Am I going too fast in the whole thing? Okay, let me do this thing and then I'll come to it. Guna netan atitya trindehi deha samudbhavan janma mritya jara dukkhehi vimuktaha amritam ashnute etan trin gunan atitya, going beyond the three gunas, the dehi, the one who is indwelling self, deha samudbhavan, okay. The deha is born from the three gunas, etc. Then janma, mrityu, jara, dukkha. Just a minute, I think our signal is off. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Can someone respond? Can you all hear me? Okay. Okay. There is a little bit problem with the signals. Let me see, otherwise I'll shift over. Or maybe I should shift over right away. Hold on. Yep. Yes. Now we are on. Sure, all of you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and see also.
Yeah. Then now the question has come up is, can we go from sattvic to tamasic? Of course you can. It is not a one-way street. It's not a one-way street. And sattvic to tamasic, you can go without necessarily becoming rajasic. Why you have been doing a lot of intellectual activity, this, that, etc., all that fine. Now what? Enough, abhi, both ho gaya, tired. Become tamasic. There's nothing wrong in it. Remember, sattva, rajas, tamas is not a problem. The problem is when one thing comes up and I want to do something else. When I have to be rajasic, tamas comes up, then it is an issue. Not otherwise. Similarly, when I want to be tamasic, if rajas comes up, it's a problem. Night, 11:30, chalo baba, put off all your gadgets, bidgets, so jayega. I want to be tamasic, but my mind is rajasic, active. Then it is a problem. Then it is a problem. Yeah. Then you have to do some quieting activities, etc. Quieting activities, really speaking, are sattvic activities, okay? Yeah. And then from there slip into tamas of sleep. So the problem is we need all of them. We need enough tamas to be able to sleep. No? If you can't sleep, it's a problem. Yeah. If you can't sleep, it's a big issue. Because mind is overactive. Yeah. Then you have to take some drugs, this, that, etc., just to get sleep. What for? To sleep you need to be tamasic you need some medication. Ye kya baat hai? You got into the habit of overthinking, etc. Overthinking. Overdoing things. You got too addicted to the whole thing. Yeah. You got addicted. That's the whole issue. Therefore, every one of us, however intellectual you are, some amount of tamas is there in you. Some amount of rajas is there in you. It is not that if you are a sattvic person, you can't achieve things. See, this is a mistaken notion people have. That if I am sattvic, I will not be an achiever, I will be only an intellectual. Which is not true. We will see that later on in the Gita, he goes on elaborately over things. Okay. In the Mahabharata, Yudhishthira was sattvic or was he not sattvic? Among all the Pandavas? Sattvic person. He had his problems. Yes, tamas was there in him. Rajas also was there. He's a Maharati. How do you become a Maharati if you don't have rajas in you? You need to have a lot of rajas, and that rajas has to be guided and harnessed properly. Otherwise you won't become a Maharati and things like that. Yeah. And there was one day on the battlefield where nobody could stop Yudhishthira. In one of the 18 days of war, one day was Yudhishthira's day, literally. He was unstoppable. So it is not that just because you are sattvic, you are too good. There is nothing like being too good. Yeah. Like I saw a post somewhere. No, I have been a good person, but my goodness has been a problem. People exploit me all the time. That is because you don't know how to draw boundaries. You don't know how to be assertive. You are a people pleaser. People pleaser is not being sattvic. Yeah, people pleaser is not being sattvic. He'll border on tamas and rajas. Why? Because I want to keep everyone happy. I don't want any confrontation. There's a scary attitude. Tamasic. Yeah. And if others don't benefit from your goodness, of what use is it? And if others are exploiting you for your goodness, of what use is it for you? Therefore, those boundaries, etc., one has to learn. So that is sattvic. To learn to limit boundaries is sattvic. Because thinking, na? That is sattvic. I'll never say no to anyone. That's stupidity. Moha, that is delusion. Tamasic. That is tamasic. It is born of a wrong thinking. That a good person will never say no to anything. Hey. Where did that deluded thinking come in? Yes, a good person is helpful. That much is fine. But never say no to anything. And then where will you do what you have to do? Yeah. Tamasic thinking. There is something wrong in your thinking. You don't exist so that the world can exploit you. You are not a doormat to the world. If you are a doormat to the world, you are tamasic. You are not. There is not goodness there. Yeah. If you know somebody is trying to get something out of you and you are happily willing to let it go, that's a different thing. But if everyone is doing that out of you all the time, then there is something wrong in your thinking. Delusion. Deluded thinking. At the individual level, at the national level, both. Yeah. Try to keep people happy, give freebies all the time. What will happen to the whole finance process of the nation? You'll become broke. Yeah. 2-3 states in India have that problem. Tamil Nadu, one big thing. The freebie culture made the workers good for nothing. Breakfast available for 2 rupees, lunch available for 5 rupees, daru available for $5. Yeah, package, pouches. Who will work? They work one day in a week, they have enough to live the whole week. You'll make people tamasic. Freebies make people tamasic. A helping hand is different. Freebies are different. Freebies make people tamasic. Understand it a little bit more globally. Okay? Freebies make people tamasic. Helping hand is different. Helping hand is a helping hand. Everyone deserves a helping hand. Then what about sadhus living on bhiksha? Is that tamasic or sattvic or rajasic? What is it? Because we are living on bhiksha, you are not working, na? What is that? Tamasic, sattvic, rajasic.
Rajasic.
See, a beggar and a sadhu looks the same, isn't it? They are both living on alms. Beggars in Bombay are not always like that. The other day, I had gone to meet the lawyer for the land which we are taking for the ashram, etc., etc. And coming back, there were a couple of people who said, "Hey, let's have a bite before we go home." Had a bite. Therefore, there was some spare food, which I didn't eat because I already had a bite. So next morning, I heated it up nicely. I said, "I'll go and give it to the temple. Someone is there." So there was a lady sitting there. I said, "Khana khayegi aap?" That is a food I would have eaten if my maid had not come. And she's actually asked me, "Kya hai?" Okay. Good one. Yes, sattvic for sadhu because willingness to learn and share knowledge. Yeah. So this lady is asking, I said, great. Beggars in Bombay are asking for a menu card now. Whereas when we lived as sadhus, we never thought about it. When I was in Rishikesh, I go for bhiksha, whatever I get, I'm eating. You don't ask what is it. Kya ye? Why? The Lord is the giver. See, the attitude is different. Just that attitude of begging. Lord is the giver, Lord is the receiver. Yes, beggars are choosers these days, correct? Whereas a sadhu is not a chooser. He accepts whatever comes. The Lord is giving me this, this is what I am supposed to eat. That's it. Lord is not giving me anything today. Today is Ekadashi for me. So that attitude, in the same act of begging, because you are living on bhiksha. That is why it's not called begging, it's called bhiksha. Same, this thing makes it sattvic. You know, as a sadhana, before I became a sadhu, I never had any role models before. The only person I knew was Puja Swami. I said, how do I live a sadhu life? Without money, this, that, etc. How do you manage it? So I used to do something. On a Saturday, Sunday off, no? On a Saturday, I will buy a ticket. Because if you buy a return ticket on Saturday, it could be used on Sunday also. I don't know whether now it is the same, but those days it was. Could be used on a Sunday. So I used to buy a ticket, come home, knock off all my money, this, that, everything, watch, everything off. Then go to the ticket to Titwala temple. It's about 2 kilometers walk from the station. So I'd walk it up. Spend the whole day in the temple. You're sitting in the temple. Outside the veranda of the temple, you're sitting down. That time there was a small veranda. Now the temple is done up and all, it's a big formal thing. I used to just sit there. No food, no drink, unless someone gave me. Sometimes the pujari will say, thoda sadhana kar raha hai kya? He would recognize, he was smart enough to recognize. Those pujari that day, I don't know whether now they will. हाँ बाबा जी, हाँ जी महाराज जी थोड़ा साधना. अच्छा, ये भोजन के लिए ये ले लो, and he'll give me something, some sheera or some puri or something. That's fine. So Saturday, Sunday will go like this. Sunday evening, I'll walk up to the station, take the train back. I said, how do I live like a sadhu? How do I train myself? So my sadhana was very different, okay? If you get food, you eat. If you don't get it. And I remember my background is all physical culture, martial arts, everything. You have to have proper diet. This, that. Vikari sari duniya, data ek Ram. So you don't feel beggarly. When you are begging, you don't feel beggarly. When you are living on bhiksha, you don't live beggarly. If you are feeling beggarly, you are not fit to be a sadhu. You are not fit to be a sadhu. If you feel superior to the other beggars around you, then also you are not fit to be a sadhu. You are feeling superior. So I still joke. अरे ऋषिकेश का पक्कड़ है मैं, रहता किधर है बॉम्बे के नुक्कड़ पर, और क्या है. This is it. Then this, I'm just pointing out how tamas and sattva can seem so close, but they are so vastly different. I remember one person, one of my batchmates, he came. Because see, in the ashram, everyone doesn't live on bhiksha. Though I'm sure of one thing, when I do a full-time course, maybe few years down the line, because the ashram is getting ready, has to get ready now, when God willing. So when that happens, I will send people out for bhiksha also. Thoda, as student itself, let them get used to it. So this boy came with I said, we are going on bhiksha. There's nothing else to eat. Joining us? Or there's nothing else. He said, no, ashram kitchen doesn't function. It functions only when Puja Swamiji is there. That time kitchen was a small little place in Rishikesh, okay? Yeah, small little place and tiny. What you all will consider a pantry now, you know. Yeah. And there was water pump was by hand. You had a hand pump to crank and get water. So when Swamiji is not there, no cooking happens. So you go for bhiksha. He said, I'll also come. And he's standing in the line for bhiksha and tears are welling up in his eyes. I said, champ, kya ho gaya? What is happening? I'm thinking of my mother. I said, you will not last in this lifetime. In this life, you will not last, okay? I was young that time, so I was quite, maybe a bit harsh. Which I would, nowadays, now I wouldn't have made that statement. Those days, I was also young, must be about 29, whatever. I said, you won't last in this lifetime. And true enough, within a couple of years, he got married, settled down, and etc. Acha. So when he got married, etc., he told me, you are right, I got married. I said, good, I have one more house na, for me to come and say, Bhavati Bhiksham Di. Acha. So he and his wife both laughed. I knew his wife also. Yeah. Her father was working for IIT Bombay. So I knew them well. I knew the couple well. His daughter is that dancer who we had for that Vedic Wisdom Festival. That's his daughter. Beautiful, charming young lady. Yeah. So, what is sattvic, what is tamasic? It looks close, but it's different. Yeah. Because the sattvic mind is a free mind. Tamasic mind is conditioned, etc. Rajas is too full of passion to be really thinking and things like that. Yeah. Too full of things to do, running around like a headless chicken. Ye karne ka, wo karne ka, I have to do. So this is the big pattern, okay? Then how to be free from the three gunas, etc. is the next question that will come up. Because that is your purpose. Even the purpose of being sattvic is to be free from that. To be free from that. Yeah. So, how to do that? Of course, all of you know now, it is by knowledge, by learning, by recognition, etc. Whereas sattvic, etc. is more attitude driven, etc. Even rajas, tamas are all attitude driven. This is more recognition, learning, etc. But that we will see next class, okay? Good place to stop. Om Tat Sat.